When we were in Jacksonville, we saw things and felt things that we didn't share with him. And we should have. In hindsight, we should have, because he does not listen to the media. So he never saw it coming. We did, he didn't.
My first thought was his first training camp out of football is going to be a problem for him because I know how passionate he is about it. So I called him and invited him, and he came, and he spent a week with us.
I traveled around. I went to probably 6 training camps. That really got me through, a tough time.
I'm focusing on things that, I gotta paint my daughter's exterior doors. No.
I sent them baskets, thank you baskets, yeah. Each and every team that took him.
Hey, best to you. Huh? Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Give my best to Judy.
When I fell into the routine where I would be in my office and my wife would look in there like I was trespassing, I didn't have any place to go. But it was a blessing. It gave me a chance to be with our 2 grandchildren. Emma, who's our oldest, she was born August 13th. Dylan was born September 2nd. I would never have been around for any of that.
Okay. It gave us a lot of good things, but it also showed me I want him around more, but I don't want him around full time. I just...
There are people that sit in that combine right at the finish line of where the 40s are timed, studiously writing down every possible 20-yard increment and not talking to anybody. That year, when he wasn't coaching, I looked over there and there he was. And I said, Tom, you're over there with your notebook, writing down every time. You don't even have a team. I will. Well, I didn't know we were going to make a coaching change after the next season. 16th head coach of the New York Giants, Tom Coughlin.
The year between being fired by the Jaguars and going to the Giants, I think was a really pivotal year probably for him, because I think it allowed him to step back and maybe evaluate his own situation, his own methods.
There was a stamp put on me in '95, and nobody seems to be able to write any current articles. They would be foolish to think that I'm the same. Nobody stays the same. You adjust and you move on.
Everyone in this room has something to prove. Everyone.
Well, I was including myself. You gotta prove that you're a winner.
Change is inevitable. Wrap your arms around it. It's coming.
Could I go into this kind of a circumstance and do that?
It's not about us versus you. It's about getting to we.
Could I bring all of these factions together? Those were the questions.
Coming up, Tom Coughlin came to New York talking about change. But could he practice what he preached?
I said, let me get through this 1 year with this man, because after that...
We're not wearing Bermuda shorts.
I can't put up with this.
Starting right now, it's a fine.
When I first met Coach Coughlin, it wasn't a dislike, it was a hate. Hated him. And the first few years were horrible. We had a guy who just barked orders and fined you at the drop of a hat.
You don't know what scout squad you're on? Just figure you're going to be light in your check.
Neither the Giants nor their coach seemed thrilled with all their new job requirements.
I almost forgot about having to do this, Pat.
Coach, you know what we call that? Wishful thinking.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to look around and say that this group could indeed be something special?
What have you seen so far from your wide receivers? How special can they be?
Are you on the special thing today? I mean, what the heck?
Despite making the playoffs in 2 of his first 3 years with the Giants, by the end of 2006, Coughlin still hadn't won over New York.
I said it several times, it's amazing the man I know and the man I read about. I mean, they're just not the same person.
And the Eagles beat the New York Giants on a walk-off field goal.
The season ends with disappointment.
When we had that season and the media and the public was wanting him to go, we just felt it was important to say something. We had never done that before.
I came home, Judy, Tim, and Kate are in the living room. I come in, they want to talk. Dad, do you know what they're saying about you?
You know, the media really doesn't like you, Tom. They don't like you, and, quite frankly, they don't have reason to like you, so.
I could be rude, I could pull some of the Parcells stuff, but I couldn't get away with it. I wasn't Parcells.
It's unbelievable. You know, that's why sometimes I call you guys commies. That's why.
They make light of it.
There it is. Subversive from within.
Well, they're not making light of it with me. I haven't had enough success for them to put up with this guy.
You know, I think that I'm the one, you know, I would get so upset with the negative press, and because, you know, it was like nobody would take the time to get to know him. And I know that, I guess, with football that they don't, you know, people don't always care about who he is and who my mom is and where they're from, and that they have a family that reads this stuff and cares about them. But
each of us took our time talking to him, and he just sat and listened, and I think it helped him to make his decision.
Coughlin decided to have closed-door meetings with media members in order to improve their working relationships. He formed a leadership council of veteran players to help communicate to his team. And like never before, he let those in football see him as he was elsewhere in life.
He wasn't serious all the time. And he learned how to say, okay, kid, you're 3 minutes early instead of 5 minutes early. Come on, you know it's a 5-minute early rule. Instead of, here's a $500 fine.
I'm not gonna fine you, but I could. I mean, I could get everything. You understand me? You can't.
Well, you know, I appreciate you not doing that, you know. Well, here's a coach who was possibly going to get fired, and he's relaxed enough to sit out and eat a greasy In-N-Out burger. Like we were at a barbecue, and families have barbecues, and that's what it felt like. We were family.
In 2007, the Giants clinched the 6th seed in the NFC playoffs in the second to last week of the regular season. The results of the season finale could not impact New York's playoff standing, so the Giants could give their starters the game off to rest. Instead, Tom Coughlin chose to play his regulars and try to win the game. In the process, New York became a footnote in the Patriots' historic 2007 regular season.
I come in the next morning, there's a light on my phone.
Yeah, Tom, this is John Madden calling on Sunday morning just to congratulate you and your team for a great effort last night. You know, not good, but great. I think it's one of the best things that has happened to the NFL in the last 10 years, and I don't know if they all know it, but, you know, they should be very grateful to you and your team. And we were getting too much of that. You know, well, they're going to rest their players. They don't need it. And that's not sports and that's not competition. And anyway, I'm a little emotional about it, but I was so damn, you know, proud of what you guys did. It's something that we all ought to thank you for, because, believe me, the NFL needed that. Congratulations.
Click. I played it for my team. Because when John Madden calls you, it brings it right to mind again, and that's really what football is. It's sport. And what is sport all about? We're trying to win. That's what this league is about, is competitive greatness. And always putting your best foot forward.
Snap is good. Kick on its way. End over end. Does it have the distance? It is good. Lawrence Tynes has kicked the Giants to the Super Bowl.
The grin on Tom Coughlin's frostbitten face stayed frozen there long after he was out of the cold. In fact, throughout the lead up to the Super Bowl,
yes, sir,
the man's good humor never melted.
Is there anything that irritates you about the coverage you get from the press?
Could you voice the word fun? Just say fun. There you go.
How's that, Jerry?
As we spoke to our team the night before 42, what we wanted them to understand was, when you play this game, remember, when you win, it's not just you.
It's your whole family feels it. Your whole family, whether it's your dad, your mom, your brothers, your sisters, everybody, your wife, they're all world champions. And I remember going to the back door and opening the door and letting my boys into the locker room. And it says goosebumps on top of my goosebumps now. And that was in 1990.
That's what I want for you. Because you won't understand it until it happens. And when it happens, you'll get it. Don't let it go by without getting it.
Coughlin stressed family to his players then showed his own family he was free from stress the next morning.
You know, I'm up early, checking through some notes. Next thing you know, one of them's crawling up on my lap.
That's probably one of my most favorite memories. It's the morning of the biggest game in his life, and his grandkids are literally doodling on his plays for the day.
I mean, I can't tell you the number of New Year's Eves that I sat alone in a hotel room because he was working on the next days, and I would have never let our kids into the room, but this was different. And Tom couldn't help but show his love for them, so it just was a calming factor. It was such a gift.
Hi, Tom. Congratulations. How you doing? How was that frostbite?
Oh,
that was pretty cold, wasn't it?
At least they're talking about my face this year. Last year was my ass.
They had to come back late in the game against, quite frankly, a team that may really actually have been better. Now, there are some things that happen in the game that the ball does take funny bounces.
Gonna be sacked. No, he got out of it. Now he fires downfield, and it is hot.
But it doesn't just come down to luck. You win close games because you're prepared to do it.
I said, I've gone from a guy who wouldn't play for him for 1 year to a guy who wouldn't play for anybody else if I had to go back and play football. He wants to win. That's his bottom line, is winning. And he's had to change his method to get there. And I'm glad he changed it, that we were able to get to the mountaintop with him.
Oh, we're number one. We're number one. Put one finger up.
Emma and Dylan both, after the game, did a snow angel.
For once, you could just kind of breathe and say, if football ended the following day, he reached his goal. At the end of the day, that's really all you could wish for.